Nigeria. Then we are moving to, that's the next slide, please. We are moving to United Kingdom because one of my mentees has become a mentor and has become a partner. The anchor that just left here, she's also going to establish the one in the UK. So how you can join us? You can join us by being a mentee. So if you are not yet a mentee, because we have a platform where we support and celebrate one another, and you get to know about our events, so you can join our WhatsApp group. The QR code will be shared towards the end of the program. You can join us as a mentor. If you are not a committed mentor, mentor means that every time we need to, for any cohort, we will assign somebody to you. But you can also join as a coach. So as a coach, just going to be a one-off. If you have a particular mentee that just need a support in one area, I push them to you, then you help us to coach. You can sponsor. You can sponsor our events like this. Hopefully, by the time we want to do next year, we are going to plan better. All this planning you are seeing was done by this mentee because I said I was coming down and they quickly packaged things for me. And thanks to all my panelists because it was just a WhatsApp chat, short chat I had with them. And they just kept saying, yes, 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 we are coming. So thank you to the panelists. So we also plan under 3 weeks. But hopefully the one we will have next year is going to be planned. Maybe we'll do like 3 months or 6 months advanced planning. Then it's going to be bigger than this. Then by then, I will need more sponsors. I told my mentees I don't have a grant yet. If I have a grant, I will come and spend it. Imagine I didn't have a grant and I'm spending this. So if I have grants, how much more I'm going to do? But beyond that, if there's that you can take a set up
equality by empowering African women, and Baby Grubs, a social enterprise that produces affordable, nutrient-dense foods and toddler snacks for the African child. Please let's put our hands together to welcome her. Welcome. We have Oluwatoyin Albert. She's the VP of Routing and Switching, Flutterwave Technology Limited. Oluwatoyin Albert is a cross-functional digital payment professional with over 2 decades experience in business development, product management, sales and marketing, customer service, strategy, and operations. Her experience cuts across startups and technology-driven organizations, which has earned her vast knowledge in e-payment business industry. She started out her career at Unified Payment Services Limited as a trainee. She grew through the ranks, moving across various roles in the organization: customer service, operations, sales, and client relationship management, amongst others. She left as head payment and acceptance infrastructure. In 2016, Toyin joined Express Payment Solutions Limited, where she spent over 5 years holding different executive management roles. She later joined iTex Integrated Services, a digital payment solutions provider based in Lagos, where she was the Chief Growth Officer, overseeing business expansion and growth in Africa. She joined Keeper Africa as Executive Director, Payment Services, growth of Keeper's payment solutions for SMEs in Africa. She is currently the VP, Routing and Switching for Flutterwave Technology Limited, and she is the founder of Tipline Consulting Limited, a consulting firm which empowers small and medium-sized businesses to develop and execute business strategies to drive market launch, growth, and foster operational efficiency. She is a life, business, and executive coach working with individuals to gain clarity and direction for personal growth and development. She works with small business owners and executives to maximize their personal and business potentials for growth and market leadership. She is a proven effective leader, skilled in development, coaching, and oversight of high-performing, multidiscipline, and quality-oriented teams. Adept problem solver, employing creativity and innovation to overcome challenging and complex issues across employees, processes, and costs. Focused and meticulous in all financial and regulatory compliance objectives to plan and execute business strategies to ensure companies' profitability. Toyin has the ability to identify, convert, and manage new opportunities with emphasis on product innovation, customer relationship management, and regular support services. A team leader and player with good interpersonal and communication skills and result-oriented, high tenacity, dedicated, disciplined, and organized to succeed. She's a successful executive with ability to leverage trends across industries and markets to derive solutions and approaches focused on creating value for customers and business profitability for company. Demonstrated ability to streamline processes for efficiency and productivity. Toyin's contributions to the fintech industry have earned her ample recognitions. Prominent among these recognitions was her being awarded as the Female Fintech Leader of the Year 2019 at the Nigerian Fintech Awards and named among the top obtained high performance leadership certificate from Cornell University, USA, and she serves as an associate member of Nigerian Institute of Management. She's also a certified customer
I finished for me fair. So I have Uche and I have Toyin Lamike. Our surname is now Rewolo, but we call her Toyin Lamike, Lamikonra. I mean, uh, these were people, I think me and Uche were just managing. We are fine with our 2-1. I'm not sure if, do you make first class? You didn't make, these are people that, when they're almost at the edge of first class, do you know them? They were almost first class. Toyin was good. And she's still good. So I'm going to ask Toyin. Yes, she did computer science with mathematics. She's a mathematician. uh, so I'm sure Toyin, you are doing analytics as well right now. Very deep with analytics and all that. Very deep. I mean, very deep. So I'm going to ask Toyin. Toyin is doing a lot. Beyond the profile that you've had them said, right? Some of them try to be humble with their profile. They just told you something small. But I know what they carry. I have great friends. So I'm going to ask Toyin this question. How do you measure your own value? Okay, what does being a person of value mean to you personally? What does being Toyin, Toyin Arewolo? Yeah. At Agbogbon, they've taken my phone before I was entering bus. You know those early days now. Just get to office. Can't find your phone in your bag.
Simple answer and just put that into the various contexts in your life. When you leave a situation, when you leave a relationship, when you leave a place, they know. There's no doubt about it. There are people that leave offices and, life goes on as usual. Everybody just moves on. But when you leave a place, there's somebody in my workplace now. He actually moved over to Canada. But we've actually had to call him back to say, please, consult for us. We've reactivated all his accounts and he's back with the team because he's a person of value.
Wow, wow, wow. That's amazing. I don't want to talk more on that. So I go to the next question. That would be to second Toyin Herbert. Toyin Herbert, right? She's a co-pastor's wife. When you need some advice on, okay, I could smell something. I think I could smell my husband being around. See, my body is shaking. When you smell your husband being around, he has to attend to an emergency. Please, I will need him. Maybe after this question, he has to attend an emergency, so that's why he had the delay. But let me quickly move to Toyin Albert. As I mentioned, she's a pastor's wife. She's in the IT space. We have a lot of connection. When you need a very deep advice, very deep and smart one, you go to Toyin Albert. So the question is to you: how do you measure your own value within your professional life? How do you measure your own value?
Good evening, everyone. The privilege to be here, and thank you, sis, for having me here. So, how do you measure your value? Like Sake has defined, what it means to be a person of value. But first of all, for me, it's being self-aware. You are aware of who you are, and you self-love. That means you love yourself, and you actually make, an impact. And if I take from what she has said, you can't totally measure the value that you have as a person. But you can do that by the impact you have on people. So if somebody meets you today, what can the person say 2 days after? Even immediately the person leaves you, what can the person take out of you? There are people you meet, and you have spent 30 minutes with them, you can't even say, this is what I'm taking out of this discussion, right? So the value that you have is the number of impacts that you have. In the workplace, you see, I started my career as a trainee, and I did not realize within that few years I've been working, I've moved around almost every department in any organization, and I did not realize it. But when that was happening, right, I stayed 2 years on a row and moved, 2 years on a row and moved. So we went for a strategy retreat. And there they said we should vote for somebody that is Mrs. Fix-It. And when they opened, you know, the person that won the vote, I heard my name. I said, do I fix anything? Really? So that's the reason why I've been moved around, because I had to ask my MD, what is the problem? In Unified Payment, I stayed for about 15 years. So I moved around. So anytime there is an issue in a department, they just move to in there. It will be resolved. But the impact you have on people, the impact you have on the processes, the impact you have on the job actually helps you to measure your value. Thank you.
Thank you so much. For me, you can please step in.
Okay, so before we proceed, I'm going to invite one more person to the panel session. Let's give a round of applause before I even start. We are honored this evening to have with us Pastor Olawunmi. He is a chemist by training, consultant by vocation, speaker by profession, and a shepherd by calling. He is the founder of School of Success with a mandate to help individuals and organizations optimize their leadership potential for success. He's also the managing partner / director of Happy Eagle Nigeria Limited, a leading provider of security consulting services for financial institutions in Nigeria. Specially anointed with the teaching grace with which he has raised, equipped, and discipled several within and outside this nation. He was a Nigerian Youth Ambassador to the United Nations 2009 to 2011 and first chairman of the African Youth Union, inaugurated at the UN headquarters in New York in 2009. Through his itinerary ministry, he is a regular speaker at several conferences and summits in Nigeria, America, Canada, UK, and several other places across the globe. His ministry is blessed with undeniable evidence, palpable testimonies, and glaring proofs. He is currently the lead pastor of Grace Revolution Embassy in Surulere, Lagos. He is married with children. Let's welcome Pastor Olawunmi.
You are welcome, sir. So coincidentally, unofficially, my husband is sitting beside me. This is not planned.
Wow.
But we are not doing husband and wife on this platform. Thank you for coming, sir. So I would, my third question will go to Uche Babatokwe. Uche was my classmate, and somehow Uche's mom was my chemistry teacher in Ibadan. So she did attend the same school with me. So we went to the same university. We work in the same place. I mean, I got in, then she came in, and she's been an amazing person. So Uche, I want you to, what advice will you give someone starting their career or business, and how can they become a person of value in their field with all the things we've heard so far? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thanks for, when I got your invite, I mean, thank you for inviting me for this program, and well done. So, when you're starting, or if you're going to a new place, what I typically would say is, it's twofold, right? You have to add value to yourself. In order to deliver value, you must have built yourself up. Now, how would you add value to a place? You have to put in your best. And it's not about what the organization is doing. It's not about the situation. You have to consciously always put in your best. I'll give you an example. So I'm currently in well, I've been in multiple places, and I've been in places where I've had to be the one to define what is success, right? I'm the one that has to, and because the organization, they bring me and say, oh, come and do this for us. I make a conscious effort to put in my very best, and it's beyond the standards, whatever standards I've been given. So when they can take whatever I've created, and everywhere I go, people call me and say, this thing you did, can you help us define a framework to help us do this? Because they thought this is what we want, this is how we do it. I'm a strategy person. They think this is what a strategy should be. But I go and add what I know is best practice, and I always try to put that forward. And that's what you should do. Because it's if you deliver value to people, they know. You know, like what Tony was saying, that when something of value, you know. Even if that's not what they've given you, if you go above and beyond, they will recognize it. And for anybody starting, I would say, take time, develop yourself, be a person of value to yourself, take courses, do things that help you stand out. And when you're also delivering value to wherever you are, those little things you've added to yourself will show. So I'm not a data person. I don't have to do data. But because I'm on my own, taking courses in data, taking courses in how to use Excel for certain things, if I'm asked to build a report, by the time I'm done, because of what I know, I've added, the little touches I've added, make it stand out. So you have to, I would say, those things that make you stand out, those things that give your work a touch of excellence, do it.
Thank you very much. I like all the examples. That's how you know people that are very deep technically as strategists. You are the one, just giving an example, you are the one that defined the templates they use in your organization. You define how things are done. And that used to happen to me as well, like what Tony Albert said. When there is no definition, when there is chaos, when they want to put things in place, they know who to call. They call a person of value. When they want to start a department and it just has a title, but there is no job description, there is no KPI, they know who to call. They call a person of value. And that's how also you get monetary, money follows value. Money follows value. So if you're asking for more money from your employer, the question is, what value are you adding? There is a businessman on this panel. I've known him for years, and he has excelled in what he's doing. He has excelled in what he's doing. I don't want to, they've read his profile. So I'm going to ask Mr. Mudashiru this question. How do you handle situations where your value is not recognized or appreciated? I'm sure you're in that space. How do you handle situations where your value is not recognized or appreciated?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the invitation, and it's nice to be here. So you speak up. And I'll be using clothing. We all have tailors. We all wear clothes. When your clothes are not right, you tend to communicate. You tell your tailor. Now, when it's a two-way thing, there are times when your clients or your customers or people who you're offering your value to don't appreciate what you do, then you have to talk about it. Communication is the bedrock of any relationship, be it family, siblings, husband and wife, pupils, friends, church members, co-workers, leaders, government to citizens. It's more or less like a feedback. When you talk about it, then you find a balance. You find a midpoint to be able to solve whatever thing that led to that and be able to move on from there. Thank you.
Yeah, I like what you said, communication. Speak up. When it comes to speaking up, I realized when I was in Nigeria and we're talking about promotion, career progression. They said they used to say that your career is in your hand. So if you want promotion, you speak up. But the way I was trained to be humble. I was trained to wait a while to go and get things by myself. So you go for it. You speak up. I am doing this. Did you not see it? Oh, sir, I was the one that, sometimes maybe you are a junior staff and you send a mail to a director, you are opportunity to send a mail to the director, and the director does not know you. When next you see the director, what should you say? Hi, sir, my name is Alaba. I was the one that sent that mail to you. And this reminds me of one of the Ylmp meeting we had, and I think Tony spoke to us about things like that you go for it. Was it online or physical? Tony, you've been my speaker for 1 or 2 times, yeah. Either the one you did online, Tony has been my speaker. I always, some other organizations, I go there to watch. Tony speaks very well. Please look for all of them on your social handle. They are doing. I mean, this is the value you must speak up and show up, communicate. And that's the question when your value is not seen or appreciated. So I quickly move on. Hope you are gathering your questions, whatever you want to ask them. I quickly move on to a subsection where we call networking and professional relations. And that question is going to Pastor Olawunmi. He's an employer of labor. He has an organization. He has people working under him. And the question I'm going to ask him is that, let me ask him a question around demonstrating value in the workplace or business. So how can an individual, either your staff or you to your clients, consistently demonstrate reliability of value? Reliability, how can you be consistent in demonstrating this value?
All right. Thank you very much. Pastors are never short of what to say. All right. So, but I want to appreciate all the panelists for the great job they've done. Well, I'll say a few things then. Try to go back a little. Well, to demonstrate reliability in the workplace is simply delivering and then zero tolerance for excuse. Zero tolerance for excuse. If you want to be seen or perceived as a reliable person, honestly, that's just the only thing. You must have zero tolerance for excuse. There is a goal to be met. You just want to give it your all to ensure that the needful is done. And talking about being a person of value, I want to say something and tie it again to this. Give me just 1 minute or thereabout. Not everyone will start their career the way people like us started our career. Today, if money is the goal of career, then we'll be happy that we are where we are. That's the next truth. When I left university, I studied chemistry. Shell, Chevron, of those days were what I was aiming for and all of that. But it never happened. So I found myself in a one-man organization, very terrible place to task. I mean, start your career. I was employed without an offer letter. One man, and it was presented like you are jobless. We just want to help you. No KPI, as it were. No nothing. No JD. They just slot you somewhere. But to be a person of value, one of the things that must be consistent in your life is that you are a contributor. You can look at a situation and feel that there's something I can add to this that will make a difference. And then when I joined the organization, that was what I saw. Because there was even no job description. Number one, I look my best all the time. It's so funny with such organization. So the MD will want to go for meeting, very important meetings, with those that matters, with MDs or financial and all of that. He will just get into the office where we are, the pool office. Look, you dress very well, follow me. I just carry his bag. So we get in there, he says, that's my PA. I don't know what PA is. So I sit in the meetings with him, And I hear negotiation, I hear all those things, how they are being done. And I kept following him everywhere. That was how I became a PA. I didn't come in as a PA. I just became a PA. Firstly, because of the way I always look. Secondly, I looked at the organization. My wife is here. My wife is an IT person. I saw that everything we were doing was manual. We were writing invoices, and I'm talking of an organization with a turnover of 4 billion naira. Yeah. In 2009, our turnover was 4 billion naira. One man company, not listed the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, at 4 billion. And yet, we are still writing invoices manually. Everything. I came on and I told my wife, how can you help me? How can we automate and then she came up with software, this. I went to my boss. I said, sir, we don't have to write invoices manually. We can have this thing just generated via the system. He says that, and then I brought that in. Till today, they are still using that in that organization. Again, I brought in some stuff, so I told my wife. She helped me. So then I told me, okay, bring that your wife to come and train us. But they always ask, who is doing this? I'll say, it's my wife. So I brought in my wife. She trained, and then she was paid. She was paid. And on like that. What I'm saying is that you must just be a contributor. And I'm telling you, when it comes to being reliable again, people who have worked with me know. They say, you can't give excuse around this man. Because it just has to be zero tolerance for excuse. Thank you.
Thank you for those examples. I recall, then when they said I should come and train them, I checked. What am I training? I just packaged something. I want to train them on advanced Excel and advanced Word. And I can't remember many Saturdays. And I got paid. And I head and chop mouth. Yeah. So these are the values we can bring in. So it doesn't have to be him. He doesn't know as much as I know because I'm an IT person. He's a businessman. But we can network. Explore our network and relationship that we have, and we can get this done. And that will take me to another question that I want to ask Toyin Arowolo. Myself and Anu were discussing about the pressure of work here in Nigeria. The pressure, before I left, was too much. I was under pressure. Everything is pressure. Everything is pressure. And I gave an example. I said, well, I perceive, when my husband, the client is working for, how they give him pressure, how they call him at 12 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Because while in Canada, at our own 10 p.m., we say he's answering client's call. Imagine if he's answering client's call at 2 a.m., then his employee that didn't resume by 8 a.m. to solve some of the issues, how is he going to bounce on such an employee? So it means that the pressure he's receiving is also going to bounce back on the employee. So it's not his fault if he has to put in that pressure. So the pressure is there. And if I compare it with other side, there is no pressure, which is why I still have space to do Ylmp. If there is no network, I work in the telecoms organization. If there is rain, not rain, if there is snow and the base station is frozen, they would send it on Twitter. Sorry, 20,000 clients are down. We will do everything. Then 2 hours after, they will say, okay, we've been able to bring 5,000 up. But if it is Nigeria, within 30 minutes, everybody must be up. Why must everybody be up? It's the weather condition. Why must everybody be up? They are down, they are down. So the pressure is too much. So I want to ask you, what strategies can you employ to enhance productivity in a demanding work environment?
This question is layered, and it's layered for me because I understand the pressure. So I would tell you a strategy I have used. The truth of the matter is I have my people from my house here, so they know. One of my favorite phrases, once I started, my daughter will complete this for me. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Because once the pressure comes like that, it's almost squeezing. But to be honest, it's a very serious matter. A couple of months, barely 2 months after I turned 30, I had a stroke. And it was because of work pressure. At that time, I was doing so much, too much, everything. But that incident, made me realize how important and valuable life was and how important rest is. because the truth of the matter is, from the way that event went, if God forbid I had gone, in a couple of days, my vacancy, there would have been a vacancy in the papers. Somebody would have taken over just very quickly. So I borrowed myself brain, as they say, and I step back. I take breaks. One of the things I advocate for is, in a year, it's something, North Americans and Europeans do a lot. Once it's August or whatever, they go on vacation 1 month, and they might make money, but they make that money to spend 1 month of vacation. The vacations I go for, I still carry my laptop because there will be calls from the office. But it's important to take a break. It's important to schedule that break and take it. I remember once I went on leave. It was just 1 week leave I could get. And I had a coach who said, look, make sure because that leave was just going to be spent sleeping and waking up, trying to recuperate from the stress of work. She says, make sure you take at least 1 day for yourself. So I'm not a movie person, but I remember I just opened Netflix that day. I locked my room. My younger daughter might not remember, but I told her and her sister, today you can eat anything, you can do anything. I'm in this room from morning till night. I came out in the evening, but I'm telling you the story because I remembered, and I took that break for myself. I just slept, woke up. I can't remember the films I watched. I think they were like 3. I don't watch films on a normal day, but the point I'm making is schedule breaks. So you have an annual break. Every month, have at least a weekend where it's just downtime. You're not doing anything. You're not going to the market. You're not washing your floor. It's not the time to clean your house. Just rest, relax. Every week, God himself rested. So who are you not to rest? Every week, 1 day in that week, be yourself. Go to church, come home, rest with your family. Because the cost of this pressure is a lot on many people. As I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself as well, reminding myself of these things. They're important. And the truth of the matter is, rest is underrated. One of the things you will find out is when you take those breaks, you come back better. I'm on holiday when I'm remembering solutions to things that have kept me up, when I'm all at work. There are weekends where, I'm in the bathroom, I'm having my bath, I'm rinsing my face when one coding, those days I used to code, this is the solution, When we work and work and work and work and work and work, we are not giving we're not giving ourselves, time to distress. And I just want to add one important thing. Every day, your downtime is when you sleep. I'm sure if I ask the question, how many people sleep 7 or 8 hours? Very few. But the truth of the matter is, when you sleep, there are so many things happening to your body. First of all, I'm sorry, I'm just going to go into health coaching mode at this time. If you don't sleep before 11, it's as good as not sleeping. Because from 11 right up to 2 a.m., there are certain processes in your body that are happening. It's the time your brain connections are sort of cleaning out and reconnecting. All the memories, if you are a student, this is science. So if you are a student and you are reading during the day and you are not sleeping, you are not giving your brain time to consolidate those connections. So you would read and read and read, and what you are remembering is just 20%. But if you slept well, you will wake up in the morning refreshed. There are so many processes that your body is undergoing at that time. And I can talk about sleep from today till tomorrow, so let me just hand it over. But please rest. That would be my answer.
Yeah. Please look for Toyi's page. I think she did a program I joined online where she explained the power of sleep. Power of sleep. There's one, when you say one grace or one gift that people envy that I have, gift of sleep. Unfortunately, I don't always have time to explore it. But if it's 2 p.m. in the afternoon, I'm in your house or I'm in my house, and I say, Professor Aresun, I want to quickly sleep, I will sleep. Or if I take a day off or I'm on vacation, and I wake up around 9 a.m., I can eat 9 to 10 and sleep back. Let's say I wake up again 1 or 2, and if I want to eat a lunch and sleep back, if I want, I can sleep. Somebody will say, you'll be able to sleep at night. I say, why not? But fortunately, I don't always have time to use that gift. So if you have that gift, it's a good one. Oh, sleep. Sleep is good. And another thing I do sometimes at work, especially some of us that work from home or you are not with your team, when I'm on the laptop 2 hours, 3 hours, there's something called they call Pomodoro. Like you take a break after, like, maybe if you schedule yourself after even 1 hour, take a 5 minutes break. They call that one Pomodoro break, something like that. You could go to the restroom, just look at the mirror, laugh. By the time you are doing that, you can even remember some personal things. Yay, I'm supposed to call my mom. Oh, I'm supposed to. But if you don't take that break off that computer, you won't be able to. Maybe some ideas about your work will come when you take that break. They call it coffee break. They sometimes call it coffee break. You just get to the coffee machine, just drink a cup of water, it refreshes. Thank you for that example and the power of sleep. So I'm quickly going to run to Tony Albert. Tony Albert has worked in several organizations, several tech organizations. She has led a lot of teams. So I want to ask her this question. How do you encourage innovation within your team or organization? She has worked a lot. She's a director. She's a VP. She has done different things. She always have team. So how do you encourage innovation within your team organization? Thank you.
Serious question. But we'll try, with experience.
Yeah.
So innovation in itself, it's, finding new ways to do things or refining the old ways, right? And within the team, what you can do is leave conversations open. When I mean, so in my team, for example, if we have to do anything, the first thing is ensure that everybody on that team understands the objective of the team or the task that you actually want to do. And I leave it so open that I don't start the conversation. Because once I start, I notice that people will then wait and begin to give their suggestions towards what you are saying. So I just call somebody in the team. How do we do this? What is the expectation? Do we understand the vision? Do we understand the objective? Once that is established, then let's now move. And once we do that, within the team also, we set expectations. So if it's a task, for example, we break down into simple things that can be done. We can, if it's a large project and we have to break ourselves into smaller groups, then you have somebody to lead that group. Go do the deliberation, then come back, then we look at the whole thing. Sometimes I just use the veto power to say this is what we're doing. Because sometimes I know I have the helicopter view of what is going on. So I know what is expected at the top level. But you would definitely have to think through and, come back with ideas. But that is for a project. In anything, there has to be the way that you are able to harness people's strengths. Because everybody on the team, they have their strength, they have their weakness. And we must be able to harness that and use that to the advantage of the team. Setting expectations within the team and allowing people to, talk, right? Yes, we have results to be met, but the moment conversation starts and you shut people down, you don't get the best of them, right? Listen, and they know the process of decision making. It's such that the superior argument wins. So it's not like it's the boss that must win. And sometimes I do reverse mentoring, right? What do I mean by that? I will ask somebody, like my subordinate, so tell me what I should do better. The organization, in my organization, they do like 360-degree, appraisal. But I tell this person, this month you are going to be my mentor. And what am I saying? Because the truth is, some of us have started working over 20 years. And in the organization that I am, we have a lot of Gen Zs. Sometimes the meetings, they are speaking English, and I'm like, English. You understand? But in that speaking, you see that there is a better way that things can be done, really. Because they don't want to waste time. You want to get it done and all that. So open communication, setting the expectations, and letting people know the objective, which is very, very important. With, getting buy-ins for that objective, you see that people will come up with a whole lot of ideas. And again, you don't scold for every mistake made. That's important. If you scold for every mistake, then people will be so careful that even they won't bring their best to the table. Because they will just say, I cannot come and put myself in trouble. But you know that those are things that we can.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I like the last part she said. And I've working with teenagers, working with children, youth, and I've realized that we tell them what they shouldn't do. Don't go there. Don't do this. You don't actually tell them what to do. I mean, the positive things. So, like giving them the helicopter view of an assignment, giving them the big picture, then that also help the subordinates to be able to innovate, I mean, around what they should do. So, I want to talk around, I mean, based on the questions I have here, and the floor will soon be open, where Bumi is going to coordinate the question and answer session. But let me quickly take this with Uche Babatope. So like I said, I've worked with Uche. We used to work together at Accenture, apart from the university. And recently, she added me to a network, a WhatsApp group of ex-Accenture. And I think she's one coordinating it. So I want to ask a question around how important is networking in building professional and business value? And what are some of the effective networking strategy?
Okay, so that's a very good question. First of all, I'm an introvert, right?
Yeah.
I am at home all the time, so I am in school. It was church class. Um, I was the church class hall person. That was it. I didn't do nothing. So, I mean, people are surprised that I'm the one coordinating that particular
Exactly.
activity. So what happened was, and why I started that group, I left Accenture, and then I went into more different organizations, and I realized that the kind of knowledge capital and relationship capital that I had in Accenture, I wanted to connect with those same kinds of people. So I realized that it's going to sound like I'm a very Accenture focused person, but we were trained in such a way that there's a kind of persona of people from that organization. We do things, I will do it well, right? That thing of, oh, I'm going to do it, even if this is not what I was asked to do, I'm going to do it and do it the very best. It's something that was trained into us. And we also share knowledge very freely, which was something I found, it was hard for me to, when I left, it was hard for me to find people that I could share knowledge with very freely. So I wanted to create that kind of environment again. So I reached out to a couple of people that were ex-Accenture as well, like, look, guys, let's hang out once in a while. They're like, yeah, sure, fine, why not? And when we started, I think the first meeting were like 5 or so. And then we created the WhatsApp group. Okay, so we now made a decision, okay, we are going to meet again next quarter. Yes, we'll meet again next quarter. Fine. Set the date, okay, we'll meet this time. And we then created a WhatsApp group, and just gist. And then we met again. This is not bad. Other people now started hearing, some Accenture people are meeting somewhere. Add me to the group now, add me to the group. That was it, right? That literally is it. Like, there's no grand design for that group. There is no agenda of, oh, we are going to do nothing. We just want to hang out once a quarter. That's it. But what has happened is that when we hang out, we talk, we discuss things, I hear about things. People on that group post job openings, C-level job openings. People talk about things that I will not hear. Somebody told us about, when the CBN did their NPR, when they said, yeah, and they brought out all the things. Okay, this is what this means. Because I didn't really understand what all those things, LIBOR window, I didn't understand a lot of it. But we have people who are working in banks who understand exactly what those things mean. And people broke it down. So we understood. So that environment where we could just gist freely online, via WhatsApp, share knowledge, that was what I wanted to create. And I mean, I don't have to go out every weekend. It's once a quarter or once in 6 months. And it works for me. And I don't have to chat every day on the WhatsApp group. People are saying different things, but we just set the ground rules. So your question is, how important, right?
Yep.
Very important too. People buy from people. Somebody said that to me, one of my bosses. They don't buy because you have a brand or you did an advert. They buy from you as a person. So people that know you will recommend you, right? And if you don't have those, if you haven't created those relationships, it's hard. Nigeria is a low trust society. Something I say. Um, Everybody seems to have an agenda. Well, I don't know. But you have to. But then again, who are you as a person, right? If you have people of like minds, if you can find people of like minds, would you not hang out with them? Would you not? Would you not? If you have found somebody that does something well, you will talk about that person to somebody else. It's not about, it's not. If you've met somebody that has added value, to you in some way, you recommend that person. And if you add value to that person will recommend you. So, networking, yes, I'm not a networking person. I don't really go with that term networking. I like relationship building. And you cannot think of it as a transactional thing. It has to really be a relationship. And relationship means you're not just going to get back something from the person that you helped, right? Yeah. It's a relationship. You build a network. It's a one-to-many, many-to-one setup. So the person you're giving to may not be the person that gives back to you, right?
Yeah.
But you have to be of a mindset that, you give people your best. You build people up.
Yeah.
You help people. You support people. Somebody reached out. So I have a master's. We have an alumni group too there. Somebody just posted, "Oh, I'm trying to hire somebody, blah blah blah. I need this kind of person." I mean, I've only met that guy like twice, and he's in North and I live in the North. I said, how far? What's the remuneration? He told me. My brother's a developer. Look at this role. Do you know anybody? He said, okay, fine. He's going to ask around. Then I remember somebody else in my organization. Do you know anybody that can think somebody? The role is in Kano and all that kind of thing. Yeah, he knows somebody. That's it. I connected the two of them. I'm not looking for anything from any of them, right?
Yeah.
But it's something I could do. Anything. I did it, right? I had somebody on my network do that need. We should try. I mean, I know that's not the prevailing norm in the society we live in. We should try to be the best we can without really looking for what am I getting out of the situation right now. Networking, again, maybe that's why I don't like the term networking.
I understand.
So that's it.
You don't have excuse. So she started by saying she's an introvert. Indeed, she is, right? But it means that some of us are extroverts, some of us are everywhere. They see us everywhere, right? Even my husband was like, "Oh, this is your Nigeria." I was everywhere. So irrespective of your type of person, you need good relationship. You need to have the right network. Like she mentioned in that WhatsApp group, vacancies that will not be in the public will be shared in there because it's a trusted group. They could say, "Oh, this position is for anybody in this group," or extend it to someone around. So ask yourself, ask your neighbor, which network do you belong to? And just to say, 90% of people here are here because they know me, right? How many of you, this is the first time you are meeting me? Let me see your hand. First time. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So a lot of people came here because, and we have a lot of people that registered and didn't show up. It's fine. So that relationship that over time I have built with individuals, people have shared my post. They are here because of the relationship and network. They have said a lot, like I said, I don't want to repeat. Try to have genuine relationship with people. Not just what can I get. Let's stop looking for something to chop. What can I get? Give me something. I know those people are not here. I'm seeing the faces, but I'm just talking generally. Look for what can I contribute. People will love you genuinely, and let's take it from there. There is a lot we can do with one another. I was telling my group, the volunteers, maybe next year we go to the beach, we do some other things. Yes, we need to know ourselves more than this. So let's network and let's build real relationship. So the next question is going to go to Pastor Sheyi Olawunmi, and it has to do with networking and professional relationship. So I want him, because also I'm a businessman, I want him to discuss. So let me give it to Have I given you the question? This no, please. Before I take you to Pastor Sheyi, sorry about that. Can you discuss a time when a professional customer relationship significantly influenced your business? So a time when your professional customer relationship significantly influenced your business. So based on your network, based on your relationship, how that has improved or impacted your business.
Okay. There are two people or two professions that tend to meet different stratas of individuals. That's doctors and tailors. You can be open to your doctor without thinking twice. To your tailor, you can also be open to your tailor. Now,
They know your hips now. They know your waist. They know your busts. You have added. You have reduced.
okay. You wanted to know how. Now, when you go to, because my background is fashion. When you meet your clients or customers, whichever one suits us to say, they are as open to you as anything. If he has a pot belly, if he has a tiny waist, if you have, so these are things that you see and you hold, and they hold you in high esteem for it. So those kind of visibility and experience tend, if you are good at what you do, tend to open more doors for you. And I have one of such clients who had grown to be a brother and a bon and a family member, that we tend to do things that are more than clothing. I do other businesses. I do branding, car sales, real estate, and all that. And I've been beckoned on, I've been spoken of in places where I'm not even seated. These are men of high network that will just say, hey, Nii, someone is going to call you. I was about going into a plane. Someone saw what you made for me, and I gave you your number. So these are things that you are open up to. Then it now comes back to being a person of value. When you come in contact with people who are a little bit higher or way higher than you, make sure you don't go to them with problems. It's not because they are not able to help you, but it is because that when they genuinely call for you to even ask, then they'll be able to fix things. They shouldn't be the first person that you pick up your phone to remember, oh, because you have access to them and you've seen them, then you think you call, what are you bringing to the table? What can I do for you? You know, when I used to say, when we are all witnessing what is happening in the country, that we came into a shock that jolts everything that has to do with our lives up. You do just one thing. Let me say, okay, I'm a tailor, I only make clothes. Can you sell fabrics? Can you sell fashion accessories? So you've gone beyond just being a tailor to do things within your ecosystem. Same way, if you're at work, you're a data person, that's something that goes beyond just collecting data. Can you analyze? Can you project? Can you prospect? You know, these are things. Irrespective of whatever you are doing, you're a student, what can you do more to enhance just being a student? Do you just go to class, you just read? Can you create something even while you are in school? I became a tailor while I was in school. I have to tell my parents, focus on my siblings. What I was doing was able to sort me out. Then I didn't just wait on that. After learning tailoring and all that, I scaled up into registering a company. See it beyond just that tailoring. It became a brand. Then you can now grow into something that, even though you are operating locally, you can try. You can work internationally. So these are things that it takes a whole lot of things. It's not just about talk. Sleepless night, delayed gratification, um, 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 reading, sourcing, networking. As our brand is, I can say the dream is to have a one-stop shop. One-stop shop that you come in to buy a wristwatch. So I have contact of wristwatch makers that I'm working on. I might not be able to afford it at the moment, but I know that, okay, once I have this is what I'm doing next. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I want Pastor Sheyi to also talk more on that question, because he's also a fellow businessman.
I'll run through the question.
How can, yeah. Okay. Can you discuss a time when professional or customer relationship significantly influenced your business?
Well, for those of us in business, we know that relationship is everything. Relationship is everything. And, motivational speakers, we thought you can start, you don't need money to start a business. I have 10 businesses running. I never started any of them with money. When I started my poetry business, it was just 2 feathers. All right. But to an extent, they are very correct. To an extent, those ones are just making a joke out of it. Because I also started a business with 0 naira, only with the encouragement of my wife. 0 naira. And then from 0 naira, we grew to 100 million, 200 million, 300 million, 400 million, 500 million, 600 million turnover, and still counting behind camera. But it was without a dime. You must understand that relationship is a great capital in business and in life generally. So I'll give you like 1 or 2, 3 scenarios. I have quite a number of them. And then one of the things I would say is that you must find a way to add value to people in any situation and any circumstances. I have never met anybody, even if I meet Dangote today, if I meet Dangote today, I'm not thinking of what Dangote will do for me. I'm thinking of, why am I going to add value to this man's life? And I know that the moment I could spot areas in his life as big as he is that I could add value to, then he will add much more value to me. So 2 or 3 scenarios, relationships. One day, some of you have heard the story. I was traveling to Benin. I had a project in Benin. And then I go to the airport. I saw a young man with 3 or 4 bags, just trying to. And I was well dressed. I only had my laptop on me. So it was a 6 a.m. flight. So that was around 5:30. So I knew that all of us, we should be Benin bound. So I went to him and said, "Excuse me, sir, can I help you with your bag?" Well, he looked at me, this isn't a tout. He said, "I don't mind." So I took 2 of his bags. And then until we checked in, we did everything. Once we got on board, don't know where he sat. So, but by the time we got to Benin, I knew I was going to have that same problem. So I waited. So when I said, "No, let's go to the convenience so we can." He said, no, just go. I said, no. So I did. I pulled 2 of his bags. But by the time we got out of the airport, I saw policemen, escort, shots, so and they picked the bag. They took the bag from me and they left. And I was like, wow, who is this guy? So apparently, they moved a few meters, and I remembered, someone helped me. So I told them to stop. They stopped, he came down, shook me, and then gave me his card. But I also have card now. Now everybody get card. Card is the only thing that is free. You can put anything on it. No, it's free. So I I gave him my card. So he looked at me. Apparently, that person was Feb Idausa, the president of Benson Idausa University. I never knew. I've never met him. Then Mama Idausa was on board too, business class. So they came together. So I said, I greeted and all of that. So he said to me, what are you doing here? I said, I have a project in Benin. I've been here for about 2 months, and I have 2 months left on the project for months. He said, what do you do? I said, I'm into construction. And he said, that's interesting. He said, can you just see me in the office one of these days? That was Monday morning. I only allowed him rest on Tuesday. By Wednesday, I was at the office. And then they told me, are you on appointment? I said, no. They said, no, you can't see him. It has to be only on appointment. So I gave them my card. Go and give him this card. So the secretary reluctantly took the card from me, took it in. And when he saw, I said, let the guy. So, by the time he came back, she had changed to me like, oh, you're welcome, sir. I said, It was like Jesus and the woman at the well. She started very rudely, but at the point, I'm saying, sir, I perceive it. So she just, okay. So when I got in, he thanked me for what I offered on Monday. That's very kind of me. He told me again, what do you say you do? I said, this. So then he took me to the boardroom and brought out a very big, architectural design and whatever project they were doing. He said, you do CCTV? I said, yes. He said, then look at this project. We have this project going on at the university. I'll give you the CCTV to handle. Just like, and that was it. So no bidding, no nothing. Just by being good at the airport. Just by being good. That's it. Secondly, what I would say is that whatever you have, use it to improve people's life. And then they will further improve your life. Another scenario. I was in Canada to preach in Vancouver. So I met a young man who was the head of protocol of the church. He came to pick me at the airport, took me to the hotel. Then he told me for the 3 days you are staying, the pastor said, this guy is going to be with you. So I'm going to be with you for the 3 days you're staying. And then he said, don't you work? Because I know how it is here. Work, pay bills, work. He said, no, I work. But I took these 3 days off because I wanted to take this man of God around. I felt very honored. So within the 3 days, we got so close. On the last day, he took me to the airport. We went to the airport quite early. So I asked him, what about your wife? He said, man of God, I don't have a wife. I have an anointing for that, man. So I'm going to pray for you and you're going to have a wife. Yeah. And he said, okay. So I prayed with him. A few months later, I was in Philadelphia. Then he called me. He said, man of God, you know what? I want somebody to speak with you. I said, who? He said, just hold on. Then the person said, I am his fiancé. So he said, that prayer you prayed for me actually worked. Then months after then, I was still at the struggling stage of my business. And I had this discussion with this fellow who said, okay, I know somebody that I'm going to introduce to you. He introduced that fellow to me, in all honesty, and then I went to meet the person in the office. That day, I also vowed that I'll not be an ordinary person for the sake of my children. So when we told the fellow what we did, he said, okay, no problem. And in my presence, he called the MD of a bank, said, I want to come and see. He said, he was on speaker. I said, no, you can't see me. If you need me to come, tell me, I'll be coming. No. He said, okay, I have a gentleman here who does one or two things. And he said, no, sir. He said, I want to come with him. He said, no, sir, you don't need to come with him. Is he with you? Tell him to come. No, I'm in the office. I went straight to the head office of that bank. People were already waiting for me. The MD's protocol. They took me to the MD. And he called the head of security. Said, this guy does, please, whatever he wants, give it to him like that. That same man called another MD of another bank and said, he said, hey, it's the same thing. No, God, don't come, send him. And that was it. Relationship. In fact, all the breaks we have had in our business came from quality relationship. And all because you were just good, you just added value one way or the other. So you can't do without quality relationship, and you must be intentional about it. Some of us are very lazy. You meet people who could change your life, and for the next 1 year, you won't even call, you won't send a text, you won't do anything to follow up, just to, until you meet again, and they're like, I can't remember I met you somewhere. How will you meet me and you won't remember you? You have to remember that. I have to do something that will make you remember, not becoming a nuisance by calling you because you gave me your number, but at least that once in a while, everything's about relationship. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I know Pastor Sheyi has a couple of examples he could share. But I want to quickly stress on volunteering. Volunteering. It's funny. Victor Ifeso sitting down right there wearing wine. Used to have one program, I can't remember. He will call for volunteer. How many years ago? Maybe 10, 15 years ago. 2013. That's how many years ago? I volunteered for him.
11 years.
11 years ago. I volunteered for him. Whatever is, Obafemi that sits here, somehow, I volunteer for you, she. I volunteer for him. And that's how, when I also call for this, they came with all their friends to say, no, we need to also support. So what do you do for people? How do you support volunteering? Some of us, they want to volunteer, they're looking for volunteering where they will pay for 5,000. You are not a usher now. You are not doing, I don't know what it's called. That's not paid. Volunteer. When you volunteer, people trust you. Help someone. Try to do something. What can you do to the next person to ease the work? You are in a church. You are in an organization. Your boss is going for a meeting, or there is one person that is coming and trying to put slides together. You know your boss is under pressure. Ask the boss, can I summarize something for you and send to you? I've done that for people. I've done that to my fellow colleague. Oh, you told me something, and I have an idea of some slide I can do to support you. Volunteer. Learn to do that. That's how relationships are built. That's how relationships are sustained. Learn to do something to the next person. Learn to help. Let's learn to render help. That example of him meeting Benson, that was her son, was like he wanted to help. By helping doesn't bring you down. Supporting the next person doesn't bring you down. That's how you can be a person of value. Right in Canada, there's a program going on, book review. It's an organization. I volunteered. When I told them I want to volunteer, like, wow, you? I said, yes. And guess what? While volunteering with them, and I say in their meetings, I got some ideas that I'm using right here. So if I was not part of their volunteering team, I wouldn't get idea of what to do in my own. Learn to volunteer. Tony sitting right there. Tony Albert has a coaching group, WhatsApp group. You know I'm there? Okay, you realize, okay. I'm there. And when our coordinator posts a question or something, when I'm not that busy, I'll be the first to answer. I will answer. Of course, the person that is posting doesn't know that I'm the one, doesn't even know who I am. I will let me support my friend. I didn't even know she. I will be doing things like, not because I want her to be impressed, but I want to support her. So when I answer, other people in the group can also follow through. Learn to, whatever anybody here needs me for, I quickly jump at it. Let's learn to volunteer. Before I ask the last round of questions, I want me to coordinate maybe 2 questions from the audience.
Okay, so now we're going to throw open the Q&A session. We have here a wealth of wisdom. So please ask questions. Who is going first? Thank you.
And come and take a mic here. Osha. Okay,
I
another
have
mic there.
one here.
All right, thank you. Is it talking?
Yes.
All right, let me say it has been insightful. Actually, my question is slightly a fallout of what she said about sleep. I could see that the moment she said, once you don't sleep before 11 p.m., if I had you, I saw a reaction from Pastor Sheyi. I want to ask, because I was thinking, when was the last time I slept before 11 p.m.? Because that is not the way we were trained. I don't know if Pastor Sheyi will remember. Many years ago, I chatted you something past midnight. And I said, sir, you have not slept. He said, let me quote you. You said, I'm too young to be sleeping by this time. That's what you said. I don't know if you can remember. Now, this is what I want to ask. If I don't sleep before 11 p.m., and from what I heard, you said I'm already disadvantaged, if that's what you said, and I'm able to sleep the required number of time. Does that balance it? That's my question.
The truth of the matter is everyone is different. Even though physiologically there are certain processes. So what I would ask you to do is research circadian rhythm. That's circadian rhythm, when the sun rises, when the sun sets. Before the advent of electricity, everyone used to go to bed when the sun went down, and they'll wake up when the sun wakes up. Now your body produces certain hormones based on the sun. So why do you fall asleep in the evening? Darkness comes on. If you are not on your phone and exposing yourself to, digital lights, you should fall asleep. You should have enough melatonin to help you fall asleep. But if you expose yourself to bright light for so long, then your body doesn't know it's nighttime and cannot produce that amount. So basically, everything is, God has made us wonderfully and fearfully, and our bodies work, in a certain way. Because of melatonin, for instance, there are certain physiological processes that take place. Your tummy empties out, which is why I'm sure you've heard some people say, don't eat 2 or 3 hours before you go to bed, because there's a cleansing happening. But if there's food sitting in your tummy when you are sleeping, instead of your body to rest and clean, it's busy trying to digest the food. So, a lot of things have been turned upside down. But in short, what I would say is know yourself. The truth of the matter is, as young people, you are able to get by with so little sleep for a very long time. But there will come a time when your body will protest. So the important thing is to develop a sleep routine, very early. A healthy sleep routine. I would say, for there was many times I don't even sleep, that long. But what happens is I know my body. Once it starts giving me signals, I'm like, look, you've abused this for too long, quickly go and ensure that for the next 1 week, 2 weeks, you are sleeping well. But yeah, there's quite a lot to know. Don't take everything I said rigidly, but it's important that you get enough sleep. It's important that when the sun goes down, you are getting ready to go to bed, even if you don't go to bed immediately. I hope that has helped.
Yeah.
I actually excellent because the real sense up till now, I still can't remember any time I slept 11. And, but she said this, that you have to just know yourself. You have to know your body type. You have to create a healthy, sleeping pattern for yourself. While some of us were growing up, at the point we knew that we were going to do ministry, I started hearing people like Bishop Oyedepo will say, I cannot be sleeping at 3 o'clock. So we just took it, line and skinker. And we started feeling like if you sleep, you are not a serious man of God. And because we've walked around that for so many, I don't sleep till around 2, 3 every day. That's the truth. But for those, I can live in my house, you can't do what I do. I don't get up from bed until 11 or 12. And I get up, I'm in shower, and I go to the office. That's the honest truth. So you can't do that. Whatever I lose, I cover up in the day. And it's become a routine. And I try to avoid early morning meetings. Except a client insists it has to be in the morning. I prefer 12, 1, 2 meeting. I'm going to get up 11 to start preparing for you. So I sleep very early in the morning. And I do.
You see, sometimes when I don't do some vigil, my husband does the vigil because I need to sleep. Because I wake up 5 a.m. My schedule. I need to take care of the children. So, not like I said, it's schedule. I need to take care of the children. I do 9 to 5. When I was in Nigeria, I need to leave home at 6 o'clock or 6:15. So when do I sleep? When do I wake up? So everybody's timing. But the truth is that listen to your body. If you are 40 and above, listen to your body. Who am I seeing? Is that Charlie? Oh, hi. Yeah, any other person? There's a mic at the back there.
Yes, I have a question. It's been a wonderful session and I've really learned a lot. My question is, we are talking about being a person of value. So what happens at the workplace when you have churned out value and somehow management is not seen? You have spoken, you have communicated, you have shared what you have done, and they can actually see that you're actually putting out value, but they're just turning a blind eye to it. What do you do?
Thinking about is one of the managements that you're talking to. Let's know management, what's going on?
But sincerely, don't have the mindset that management is not seeing it. There might just not be the appropriate time for the reward. Because again, you see, when we do certain things, we believe that maybe a promotion or a pay rise should be what should follow it. But also, management is looking at the sustainability of the promotion, one. They are also looking at the vacancies at the top before anything will happen. However, having said that, it's possible. But please, even in my entire career, I don't leave out the place of prayer. And I will share an experience with you. When I got this job, it was a new department. I had to do the JD, get the team on board, meet with other teams and all that. And in each of the monthly review meetings, somebody is asking, what value do you have? And I'm like, I can't go to my team members and tell them this is what is being said at the top there. So when I get back, I say, you're doing well. In fact, everybody is. And at the time, I sat down, I said, God, what else should be done for this value to show? And you know what I said? I said, God, Daniel was not where he was, advertised. Can you advertise this team such that everybody in this organization, I don't even want the CEO or the board alone to know that this team is doing something, right? And before we knew what was happening, I just saw on the Slack group of the whole organization, people were just telling me, Toye, well done, you don't talk, but we can see. And I'm like, what happened? So somebody had put there was a product that we monitor because my team will do a lot of data analytics and use it to make decisions. Somebody had put there that they've been able to make this revenue because of what Toyin's team is doing, and this is the this and that, by that singular, prayer and turning to God to say, show me what else that I will do. Another example, I had a project that I was put on, and the client was almost leaving the organization, right? And they brought me in, go sort it out. This is somebody, they've messed up the job and all that. And as 1 month passed, nothing was happening. We were put there to, we thought you could. When you start hearing we thought you could, for me, I don't like it. It's one word I don't like. And I said, Holy Spirit, what do we do on this matter? And God said, keep sending the same report. I'm telling you a life story. Nothing in that report changed. And I kept sending the same report every day for 1 week consecutively. You know what this man did? Sends a commendation to the MD that she's doing so well. You understand? So there are times you have done all in your own way. You've spoken about it, but please, there will be a time of reward. Again, like I said, you are expecting that I'm doing so much, nobody is seeing it. But the truth is there are meetings where you are not, and people will speak about you. So it is about that consistency. Still be consistent, deliver the value, excellence in your work, and definitely you might not get the reward in that organization, but somebody will speak about you to somebody that will actually earn you the reward.
Thank you. Any other person? Any question? Bafemi. Pastor Bafemi.
Okay, thank you for this meeting, but thank you all the panelists. And I'm also happy that we have a good number of female there. So I want to ask, how do you balance your career and family? How do you balance? Yeah, how do you balance it? To also show to your children that you're a person of value, because we know in this book, Outliers, that when people are pursuing certain things, they lose certain.
After you, I would mention something after you.
Okay. So the truth is, for the woman especially, there is that place of guilt. In fact, as a parent, there is that place of guilt that I'm not doing enough. There is no point in your child's life you feel that, you've done enough. But I usually will tell myself, you have done enough. You are trying, just words of affirmation. But to come back, every one of us have support group. You must use that your support system. And if you are married, right, that's the first support that you have. I will share with you a life experience throughout 2018 in my career. It was as if, then COVID had not happened. It was as if I had my box at the back of my boots. And what happens, I can get to office and they say, okay, tomorrow we are going to France to sign an agreement. And I'm off. And then my husband has stopped working. So he had to take care of, I have 2 lovely girls, to take care of the girls, right? I can get to the office next, they tell you this is where we need to be in Abuja, and I'm on the plane to Abuja. I had to rely on the support. And there are places, I don't put myself in the guilt box. especially as a woman. What do I mean? The person that cleans my house, right? There's somebody that cleans. Forget, if you come to my house and say, oh, don't worry, lazy woman. Don't worry, I'm lazy. It's my own. It's my issue, right? So we have that support network that we must definitely use. However, having said that, you must create time for yourself. You see, you can't add value without good and sound mental health. That's the truth. You must know when you know that things are about to break. Take off. What do I do? We take family vacation every year, and that period, I try as much as possible, no work on the table. If there is going to be work on the table, then it must mean that I just took up that role. As long as I've stayed about 3 months, what I do first is establish processes. And I tell my subordinates, if I come back to the office and I don't hear that you shined on this job, it will be a problem. And they know once I'm on vacation, please do not call me, because that's the rule in the team. We don't call you when you're on vacation. So do what you need to do, to do that. But most important for you to be able to balance. The truth is there is no work-life balance. It's work-life imbalance. Nothing is balanced in life. But you must define what balance means for you. And once we go off, my husband is a pastor, so most times souls are perishing. He has to be there, right? So I go with the girls and we have a good time. Vacation is vacation. We go shopping, we enjoy ourselves. I try as much as possible not to be in the country, because once I leave the 9 to 5, I get back to the church. My husband will find us. We are always planting church. We will look for space. So I just go off. Leave me alone. This is the time to refresh. So it's important. Make use of your support system.
Thank you very much. Just to add, I had to listen to her. Everything she said, to add to it is that carry your children along in your pursuit. Carry your children along. I mean, I was telling Tony's daughter, I said, oh, you are the handbag. I mean, we call our last born handbag. And I said, one of the programs I did sometimes ago, my last born, Mary said, Mommy, when I grow up, I want to do Ylmp. It's because she understood. I mean, I bring her to the vision board. She doesn't have a board. She was joined at that time. But at least I let her see, I let my children see what I do. They understand what I'm trying to do. An example is I'm working on Ylmp website. I don't want to do website. I want to do an AI-based website where you can chat AI, and do so many. I don't want to put all these technology buzz into the website. And I wanted to be involved, so I asked somebody to train me. And when I was doing the training, when I was about to do the training, I had one of my sons that is also in HTML, CSS, to sit down with me in that class. So we did it together. So whatever I'm doing, we are doing it together. They know. Either you are carrying something, you are doing something. They asked me, Mommy, what do you do at work? They see computer, and I say, yeah, come. For this process, I'm clicking something. Come and see what I'm clicking. So we let them see. So they appreciate when you say, oh, you are staying long in the office. They appreciate. And of course, like I said, I don't want to say what she said. Having a good support system. When you have a good spouse, you all know that I have a good husband. He doesn't complain. I travel regularly. I do everything. Even if he's complaining, complain to me, not to everybody. Not to anybody. But I try to manage him, to be by his side, support him. And of course, he has always been supportive as well. So carry your children along is the point I want to add. As much as that support system, carry your children along. Let them understand you. That they don't come back to say, Mom is always busy. Mom is always busy. What's she always doing? So they would always resort to you. And before we round up, I just want one person from the audience. She has been my mentee for years. Because the question here is, what are the benefits of mentorship? But I want her to say something about benefit of as a mentee to her. And I want Funmi Ogunwo. She has been my mentor. Maybe just say one thing around. Let's Charlie start first. Charlie Blessing. Then, no, Charlie is a mentee. Funmi Ogunwo has been a mentor. What are the benefits of being a mentor to you? You've been helping mentor some of our mentees. What has he added to you? Has it been a benefit at all to you? Please, Charlie, come forward so that it can be captured in the camera. Thank you. Then after that, we'll just give us Mike, for to just say one more thing, maybe one statement or one word, then round up. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy and delighted to be here and to see my mentor seated. I've been her mentee. I'm still her mentee. I've not graduated. So even though it was very tight for me, I had to make sure that I still come in here. So being a mentee under Pastor Mrs. Alaba, it's been a wonderful experience for me because as at that time, I was an employee. And I wanted to be promoted. I needed to be at the top. But I needed someone to guide me through the rudiments of being at the top. And I would always go to her. I would always share my dreams and what I want to be. And she would tell me how to go about it. The networking, she exposed me to what networking is all about. Yes, I'm a very friendly person, but I can just greet everyone and just leave. I didn't believe in having extended and cordial relationship as to getting more in-depth. Up till now, it's still a challenge because I hardly visit people. But when I get into social gatherings now, it has helped me to be able to meet. I can't sit near you and I don't get to know you. I must know what you're doing. I must know what value you have to offer. And I must also share, the value that I have to offer. And then being as a mentee, I've also learned today, I'm no more an employee, but I'm an employer. I have over 50 staff that are working for me at different locations. And you know what it means like when if you have a building where you have everybody there, it's a lot easier to be able to see things and direct. But when you have people at different locations, Ikeja, Ogba, different locations, island, and you have to ensure that the brand, everybody represented there speaks the brand. I remember going to her. It was a yearly thing. I would go to her. Sometimes I would spend time with her in her house overnight, not sleeping, trying to see what I can learn from her. And all the ideas she gave to me helped me to be able to groom the set of people I have now. So not just being a mentee to her, I'm also a mentor to people. And I'm currently right now, like she told me one time when she was training me, she said, you would have that value that you don't go for interviews again. I can't remember the last time I went for interview. I was talking to somebody there. I said, I just had a discussion with somebody today. And I told the person, if you want me to come interpret the report and results for your child, my fee is 80,000 naira for 1 hour. And I showed her the receipt. And the person paid. And when I got in, the person was looking at me. Sorry, are you the person? Yes. She thought she was expecting somebody. And by the time I finished analyzing everything with her, she said, please, when can my child be on board? I said, okay, it's a process. So being a mentee, it's not just coming to hear all of these things, but putting it into practice. And the truth is, it's not everything that you're taught that you would just grab at once and one-to-one. There are things that you need to take one step at a time. But trust me, you will surely get to the top if you are persistent, if you are consistent in everything you do. And like she rightly said, God is the ultimate figure. You can't leave God out of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please can I have Fumi Ogunwo? She has been a consistent mentor. Then maybe Tonya about when it's your turn, you can talk about mentorship generally, because I know you have a group of mentorship. Then last word on being a person of value. Then we'll conclude.
Okay, good evening, everyone. It's been a wonderful time here this evening. Talking about mentorship, I think one of the things that it does for me is that it gives me a better listening skills. And like I tell people that no man is an island of its own. There is always something to learn from someone. So the fact that you are trying to mentor someone to become like you or to guide the person, you're also learning from the person. It helps you get a better perspective of whatever you are doing. It gives you these communication skills that helps you deal with people. I remember when she was talking that she's an introvert. I'm also someone like that, but people don't believe me. I only talk when I'm with people I'm very used to. And with the kind of business that I do, people say, you do events, you deal with people, and you say you're an introvert. I know what I'm saying. But I know that with things like that, has also helped me with the way I deal with people. When she told me that you're going to be a mentor to somebody, I'm thinking in my head, me that I like to just be in my corner. I don't want to be involved. I just want to do my own thing. And she said, you don't have a choice. And I remember, I think as at that time, there were like 5 people that I was really talking to. And I know that it also helped me come out of my shell. It helped me to have a better way of seeing things differently, listen to people, help them with their worries. You know what it means for people to commit their worries and their plans onto you? It helps you deal with them, helps you maybe guide them in the way that they will go. So in these few years, I know that apart from this platform, I'm also a mentor for another event management company. And over the years, it has helped my own confidence level. It has helped my listening skills, and it has also helped my relationship with people.
Thank you so much. I'm calling out this because at the end of this program, we want people to sign up either as a mentor or as a mentee, or you want to sign up as a sponsor or partner, or just want to be a casual coach. All is welcome. Please, you will see them at the reception, at the registration stand to enroll. Thank you. Then over to, yeah, just take it around like that. And that would be it. Last word.
So my last word would be something that one of my mentors told me a long time ago. You want to be a person of value, always, in everywhere you find yourself, remain relevant.
Fantastic. For me, I would use the analogy of perfume. I remember as a child, one of my dad's friends came to the house, and almost 2 weeks after, the couch he sat on, the perfume was still smelling. If he wore cheap perfume, I won't be telling the story. So, to be a person of value, be a person of excellence. Ensure you are costly and you have the spirit of excellence on the inside of you. And what would happen everywhere you go, that fragrance would remain and people would remember you. Thank you.
In being a person of value, discover who you are, who God had called you to be. Develop the person whom you see yourself to be, and deploy yourself.
To be a person of value, you should develop yourself, build yourself up. Take time, plan it, and learn a skill. Do something, learn something that will stand you out, and then put your best foot forward. The Bible says, "Here's that man that is diligent in his business. He will stand before kings. He will not stand before men." Right? It is that you have that will distinguish you and set you in front of people that you don't expect.
All right, thank you. To be a person of value, pay attention, give attention to personal development. Of my mentors told me, spend more time on yourself than you spend on your job. You become a person of value. Also, zero tolerance for excuse. That one is top of it for me. Zero tolerance for excuse. Those who know me know me. When I set my heart to do something, whatever needs to for me to get it done, sleep or whatever, I just want to get that done. Zero tolerance for excuse. Be courteous. Especially we have this Gen Z thing that sometimes I'm just wondering, that these people they are turning things upside down. We didn't grow up this way now. I know we were trained not to speak up. We were trained to just not to ask questions. But they want to ask questions. They want to query why. But at the same time, please be cautious. It will help you a lot. Apart from book knowledge, there are traditional wisdom that you must live by. And that's all I say. Thank you.
Yeah, and for me, I would say show up. Show up where you are needed. Even if you think you are not needed somewhere, please show up. Try to support one another. And don't compare yourself with the next person. There's something unique about each and every one of us. I mean, you see, even me and my husband, we are so different. We work together, but he is unique. I am unique. All our children have unique traits. So be yourself, while you are developing yourself, but over time, be a better version of yourself. Don't try to be someone else. Try to be a better version of yourself. Do your self-inventory regularly. Where am I? What can I do differently? And over time, you look back, you realize that you are not where you used to be. Thank you very much on this note. And I would like to say a big thank you to all our panelists, to all my friends that are here, all my mentees, and all the people that sign up. I mean, that's a vote of thanks. But in rounding up, I want us to take a good picture. The refreshment has been served. There's still more to eat and drink. And let's remember to sign up for any of these areas I mentioned and network. Please come and meet the panelists. You can see they are friendly, they are open, but let's take pictures now, then the networking continues. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. So pictures, maybe we'll start with the panelists first. The official photographer.